Hello and welcome to Healthy Aging Blueprint. I'm truly grateful you're here. On this channel, we explore simple, powerful ways to care for your body, nurture your mind, and live with purpose at every stage of life. Wherever you're watching from, I wish you good health, peace, and lasting happiness. If you find value in today's video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a step on your journey to aging well. Why do some people stay vibrant, sharp, and full of life well into their 90s, while others struggle just to reach 85? What if the real difference isn't luck or genetics, but a handful of everyday mistakes, ones most of us don't even realize we're making? And what if fixing these mistakes could add 10 to 15 healthy, active years to your life, starting today? In this video, we're uncovering 6 hidden mistakes that quietly sabotage longevity. Mistakes that 73% of Americans make every single day without even knowing it. These aren't dramatic health crises. They're small habits that slip under the radar, but slowly chip away at your energy, mobility, and lifespan. And here's the kicker. One of these mistakes is something 90% of seniors do daily, thinking it's healthy. When Harvard researchers say it increases your mortality risk by up to 40%. If you care about living longer and living better, you need to watch until the end. These fixes are simple. They're completely free, and they could help you reclaim years of life, not just in quantity, but in quality. In fact, mistake number 4 may shock you with how unexpectedly it impacts your health. Before we dive in, I'd truly appreciate it if you liked this video. It helps us continue spreading the wisdom that can make a real difference in people's lives. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a future video. If you find this helpful, comment 1 below. If not, drop a 0 so I can keep improving these for you. Now, let's begin with hidden mistake number 1, the dangerous dehydration pattern. Chronic dehydration is a widespread yet often overlooked issue, especially among seniors. It acts like a silent force, accelerating the aging process and raising your risk of illness or even early death. Why is it so common? As we age, the body's natural thirst mechanism weakens. At the same time, kidney function begins to decline, making hydration not just important, but absolutely critical. And yet, staying properly hydrated becomes harder with time. According to research from the Mayo Clinic, adults over 65 should consume between 8 and 24 8-ounce glasses of water per day, depending on body weight, activity level, and climate. That might sound like a lot, but it's what your body needs to maintain healthy function. Shockingly, studies show that 75% of seniors consume fewer than 4 glasses a day. That's not just low, it's dangerously low. And it sets off a chain reaction of health problems, from fatigue and confusion to poor circulation and increased hospitalization risk. Many of the issues caused by dehydration are often misinterpreted as just a normal part of getting older. But the truth is far more preventable. As we age, our body's total water content gradually declines. While younger adults may be composed of about 60% water, seniors can drop as low as 50%, a significant difference that quietly impacts nearly every system in the body. On top of that, the kidneys, one of the body's primary filtration systems, lose roughly 10% of their filtering capacity with each passing decade after age 40. This decline makes it harder to retain water and eliminate toxins efficiently. That means the older we get, the more vulnerable we become to dehydration, even if we don't feel especially thirsty. Dr. Jennifer Adams, a respected geriatrician at the Mayo Clinic, explains that chronic dehydration causes blood to thicken, which in turn forces the kidneys to work harder, slows circulation, and diminishes mental sharpness. These aren't isolated issues. They build upon one another over time, creating a domino effect that can look a lot like aging, but is actually something much more manageable. Here's where it gets serious. Dehydration doesn't just cause discomfort. It impacts every organ system in the body. And for seniors, the risks are amplified because their physiological reserves, things like organ flexibility and cell regeneration, are already reduced with age. When blood thickens, the heart must pump harder to circulate it. This raises blood pressure and increases strain on the cardiovascular system. Studies from the Mayo Clinic show that chronically dehydrated seniors are 60% more likely to suffer urinary tract infections, UTIs, face a 45% higher risk of developing kidney stones, and are significantly more susceptible to blood clots, which can result in strokes or heart attacks. Perhaps most alarming is the effect on the brain. Since the brain is composed of roughly 85% water, even mild dehydration can cause brain tissue to contract. This leads to confusion, forgetfulness, and even balance problems. Symptoms that are often mistaken for dementia or general cognitive decline associated with aging. Let's consider a real example. Linda Washington, a 78-year-old retiree from Florida, experienced chronic fatigue, recurring UTIs, and occasional disorientation. Her family assumed it was just part of getting older, something inevitable. But what if it wasn't aging at all? After a routine checkup, Linda's doctor discovered something crucial. She was only drinking 2 glasses of water per day. That's it. Once she increased her intake to 8 full glasses daily, the results were nothing short of remarkable. Her energy levels surged, her recurring infections disappeared, and her mental clarity improved so noticeably that even her children commented on the difference during their weekly phone calls. Within just 3 weeks, Linda experienced a dramatic transformation, proof of how powerful proper hydration can be, especially for seniors. So, what's the solution? To combat dehydration effectively, seniors must adopt intentional hydration habits, especially since their natural sense of thirst becomes unreliable with age. Waiting until you feel thirsty is often too late. Instead, proactive strategies are key. Start your morning with an 8-ounce glass of water immediately upon waking. This helps replenish the fluids lost overnight and sets a healthy tone for the day ahead. From there, aim to drink a total of 8 to 10 glasses, between 64 to 80 ounces, spread throughout the day. A helpful rhythm is to sip a glass every 2 hours. To make this routine stick, visual reminders can be incredibly effective. Try placing a large, clear water bottle on your kitchen counter or desk, marked with hourly goals. For example, a line at 9 o'clock a.m. for 8 ounces, another by 11 o'clock a.m. for 16 ounces, and so on. These cues help track your progress and gently reinforce the habit throughout the day. If plain water feels dull or unappealing, consider adding a natural twist. A slice of lemon, a few cucumber rounds, or a couple of mint leaves can enhance flavor without adding calories or artificial ingredients. This small change can make a big difference in how easy it feels to drink consistently. Setting reminders on your phone or smartwatch can also help. Just a soft alarm every 2 hours to prompt a quick sip until it becomes second nature. Another smart tactic is to monitor your urine color, which offers a reliable measure of hydration. Aim for a pale yellow. If it turns dark yellow or amber, that's your body signaling dehydration. For seniors managing chronic conditions like heart failure or kidney disease, it's important to consult with a physician. Fluid needs can vary, and medical supervision ensures your hydration plan supports your overall health. By making hydration a daily priority, you're not just preventing discomfort. You're actively protecting your kidneys, your cardiovascular system, and your brain. You're reversing symptoms that are too often misdiagnosed as just aging and reclaiming a stronger, sharper, more vibrant life. Now, let's move on to hidden mistake number 2, the sleep position that kills. Believe it or not, the position you sleep in each night can either support or disrupt one of your body's most critical systems, your brain's natural detox process. This nightly cleanup is essential for maintaining long-term cognitive health. According to research from Harvard Medical School, sleeping on your back or on your stomach could actually be harming your brain while you sleep. It turns out that the position you rest in at night has a major influence on your brain's ability to clear waste, a critical process that protects against cognitive decline. Inside your brain is a specialized network called the glymphatic system. This system acts like a cleansing crew, flushing out toxins and waste products, including harmful proteins like amyloid plaques, which have been strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. But here's the catch. Sleeping on your back or stomach impairs this process, making it harder for your brain to detoxify effectively. On the other hand, sleeping on your side has been shown to support this system far better. It enhances the flow of cerebrospinal fluid, which carries metabolic waste away from the brain. Dr. Michael Foster, a sleep researcher at Harvard, found that seniors who regularly sleep on their sides demonstrated 25% more efficient brain waste clearance and experienced much lower rates of cognitive decline compared to those who sleep on their backs or stomachs. This cleansing process occurs primarily during deep sleep, when the brain actually shrinks by up to 60%, creating space for cerebrospinal fluid to circulate. It's during this stage that the brain removes dead cells, excess proteins, and other metabolic debris. But if your sleep position is off, this vital process can be reduced by as much as 70%. That means toxins stay in the brain longer, potentially speeding up memory loss, mental fog, and even neurodegenerative conditions over time. The consequences are serious. Sleeping on your back not only interferes with the glymphatic system, but it also increases the risk of sleep apnea, a condition that disrupts breathing and cuts off oxygen to the brain multiple times during the night. This oxygen deprivation further hinders the brain's ability to cleanse itself and can damage cognitive function over time. Stomach sleeping, while less common among seniors, brings its own set of issues. It compresses the chest and lungs, restricting breathing and reducing oxygen intake. Over time, this position can worsen sleep quality, contribute to fatigue, and elevate the risk of cognitive complications. Poor sleep posture doesn't just cause discomfort. It may quietly fuel the very symptoms people attribute to aging: memory lapses, brain fog, and slower thinking. In fact, the link between body position and brain health is much stronger than most people realize. Take the case of Gerald Martinez, an 82-year-old retiree from California. He had been experiencing poor sleep and waking up groggy for months. His energy was down and his thinking felt cloudy. His family assumed it was just age catching up with him, but his doctor thought otherwise. His doctor suggested a simple but powerful change: switch to side sleeping using a body pillow for support. Gerald gave it a try, and within weeks he began sleeping more deeply, waking up with greater clarity, and performing better on routine cognitive assessments. What changed? Just his sleep position. His case clearly illustrates how something as subtle as the way you sleep can have a profound impact on brain health and long-term vitality. So, what's the solution? If you want to optimize your brain's natural detox system while improving the quality of your sleep, the best place to start is with side sleeping, preferably on your left side. This position not only supports the glymphatic system, but also helps reduce acid reflux, making it ideal for seniors with digestive concerns. To make the transition as smooth as possible, follow these practical steps. First, use supportive props to encourage alignment and comfort. Placing a firm pillow between your knees helps keep your hips and spine aligned, easing pressure on your lower back. To prevent rolling onto your back during the night, you can tuck a small pillow or rolled towel behind your back for gentle support. Second, invest in quality bedding. Old, flat pillows won't provide the neck support needed for side sleeping. Instead, choose a medium firm pillow that keeps your head level with your spine. This reduces neck strain and helps maintain alignment throughout the night, especially important for seniors who may be more sensitive to joint or muscle discomfort. Expect a short adjustment period. If you've been a lifelong back or stomach sleeper, your body might resist the change at first. That's completely normal. Give it 1 to 2 weeks and be consistent. With time, your body will adapt and start to settle more naturally into the new position. To make side sleeping even more comfortable, try using a full body pillow. It cradles the body, reduces pressure points, and offers extra support to help you stay in position all night. This one small shift in sleep posture could be the key to waking up with better focus, improved energy, and sharper memory. By prioritizing side sleeping, you're actively supporting your brain's nightly cleaning cycle, reducing your risk of cognitive decline and setting yourself up for better mornings, both mentally and physically. If you're still watching and finding value in these insights, please comment 1 below to let me know you're still with me. I appreciate your time and your commitment to your health. Now, let's move into hidden mistake number 3, the protein timing error, a common oversight that can quietly sabotage strength, metabolism, and longevity in older adults. For seniors, when you eat protein matters just as much as how much you eat. It's a detail that often goes unnoticed, but it can have a major impact on your ability to maintain strength, balance, and independence as you age. Many older adults tend to load the bulk of their daily protein intake into dinner. It might feel intuitive. After all, dinner is typically the largest meal of the day. But the reality is that aging muscles can only effectively process 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal for muscle building purposes. Anything beyond that isn't put to good use. Instead, it's converted into glucose or stored as fat. That means the opportunity to build or preserve lean muscle is missed entirely. According to research from Stanford University, seniors who distribute their protein intake evenly across all 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, retain up to 40% more muscle mass and bone density compared to those who consume the majority of their protein in the evening. Dr. Zara Kim, a nutrition researcher at Stanford, explains that muscle protein synthesis peaks about 2 to 3 hours after eating protein, then gradually declines as the day progresses, especially in the evening when metabolism naturally slows down. This makes timing critical. As we age, the body begins to lose muscle mass at an accelerating rate. Starting as early as age 30, adults may lose 3 to 8% of their muscle each decade, with the rate of loss speeding up significantly after age 65. This gradual decline doesn't just affect strength. It also increases the risk of falls, fractures, frailty, and a loss of independence. But here's the good news. With strategic timing of protein intake, much of this decline can be slowed or even reversed. Unfortunately, many seniors still skip protein at breakfast or eat very little of it in the early part of the day. But when the body is most primed for protein absorption and muscle repair, that morning window becomes a missed opportunity, one that can quietly affect mobility, energy, and resilience over time. Seniors who skip protein at lunch are paying a steep price, losing muscle mass twice as fast as those who evenly distribute their intake throughout the day. This accelerated muscle decline doesn't just make you feel weaker. It directly impairs mobility, increases the risk of falls, and makes recovery from illness or injury much harder and slower. Take the case of Vincent Chen, a 79-year-old retiree from Arizona. For months, he struggled with persistent weakness and instability. Everyday tasks became harder, and he had to rely on a cane to get around. But when Vincent changed his routine, adding 25 grams of protein to each of his 3 daily meals, everything began to shift. Within just 2 months, he regained enough strength and balance to return to one of his favorite hobbies, woodworking. Even better, he no longer needed the cane. His physical therapist reported marked improvements in both grip strength and overall balance, and directly attributed the progress to his new approach to protein timing. It was a small change, but one that made a life-changing difference. So what's the solution? To preserve muscle, strength, and independence, aim to consume 25 to 30 grams of protein at each of your 3 main meals. Here are some practical ways to make that happen. At breakfast, prioritize protein-rich foods that are easy to prepare. Start your day with 2 large eggs, which provide about 12 grams of protein. Add a cup of Greek yogurt for another 20 grams, or opt for cottage cheese, offering 14 grams per half cup. Pair it with whole grain toast or fresh fruit for a balanced meal that energizes your morning. For lunch, include lean sources of protein like a 3-ounce chicken breast, which packs 25 grams, or choose fish, legumes, or a hearty salad topped with nuts and seeds. Just 2 tablespoons of almonds, for example, contain 6 grams of protein. A turkey wrap or a bowl of lentil soup can also make excellent midday options that are both satisfying and supportive of muscle health. At dinner, continue the pattern, but keep portions balanced. Stick to 25 to 30 grams of protein and round out your plate with vegetables and complex carbohydrates, like quinoa, brown rice, or sweet potatoes. These additions provide essential fiber and energy while complementing your protein intake. To simplify portioning, use your palm as a visual guide. One palm-sized portion of meat, fish, or tofu typically provides the right amount of protein, about 25 to 30 grams. In the first few weeks, it may be helpful to track your intake using a simple food diary or a mobile app. This can help you stay consistent across all 3 meals and identify where adjustments may be needed. By evenly distributing protein throughout the day, you're not just fueling your body, you're helping it retain strength, mobility, and resilience. And over time, that consistency can mean the difference between dependence and independence. Preserving your strength and independence as you age doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of small, consistent decisions, like when you eat protein, how you sleep, and what kinds of activity you commit to each day. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment 2 below to let me know you're still here with me. I truly appreciate your time and your desire to take control of your health. Now, let's move into hidden mistake number 4, the healthy walking trap. Walking is often praised as the perfect form of exercise for seniors. It's accessible, low impact, and for many, genuinely enjoyable. But there's one big problem that often goes unnoticed. Walking at the wrong intensity can actually do more harm than good, by providing a false sense of progress while offering little in return. Many older adults take pride in their daily walks, but if those walks are done at a leisurely, conversational pace, the benefits are minimal at best. This kind of gentle stroll doesn't significantly challenge the heart, muscles, or bones. And yet, it's easy to believe that because you're moving, you're making real progress. That belief can lead people to skip more effective activities, wasting time that could have been used to fight off age-related decline. Research from Harvard Medical School reinforces this concern. It shows that seniors who walk at a relaxed pace, where they can easily carry on a full conversation, experience no measurable improvement in cardiovascular health, muscle strength, bone density, or even lifespan when compared to those who are largely inactive. So why doesn't casual walking produce results? Dr. Amanda Foster, an exercise physiologist at Harvard, explains it clearly. For walking to provide real health benefits, it must raise the heart rate to 65% to 75% of its maximum, and stay there for at least 15 to 20 minutes per session. That's the threshold where biological change happens. This level of intensity triggers cellular responses that improve heart function, strengthen the vascular system, support insulin sensitivity, and reduce inflammation, protecting you from heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and even early mortality. These adaptations are particularly important for adults over 65, whose bodies naturally begin to slow down. Leisurely walking, while better than doing nothing at all, simply doesn't activate the systems responsible for building strength and resilience. Without enough intensity, you're not challenging your body to grow, repair, or adapt. Light strolls may feel good, but they simply don't generate the physiological stress the body needs to maintain strength, preserve heart health, or protect bone density. These low-effort walks don't push the body far enough to provoke meaningful change, and that's a problem when it comes to healthy aging. Why does intensity matter so much, especially for seniors? Think of your heart like any other muscle. it only grows stronger when it's challenged. When seniors walk at a pace that barely lifts their heart rate above resting levels, say around 50 to 60 beats per minute, the cardiovascular system is barely engaged. Without that training stimulus, the body doesn't respond. Blood vessels stay the same, circulation doesn't improve, and the oxygen supply to critical organs like the brain and muscles remains insufficient. Over time, this lack of cardiovascular conditioning contributes to daily fatigue, slower mobility, and a higher likelihood of developing chronic conditions. And it's not just your heart at stake. Muscle and bone health are equally vulnerable. As we age, sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, progresses steadily, often accelerating after age 65. Add in the risk of osteoporosis, and the picture becomes clear. Without regular, moderately intense exercise, seniors lose not only strength, but stability. Moderate intensity walking, where your breathing quickens, your heart rate rises, but you can still speak a sentence or two, helps stimulate muscle fibers and puts just enough stress on bones to promote growth and resilience. But casual, slow-paced walking doesn't generate enough force to trigger these vital adaptations. The result? Increased risk of weakness, falls, and fractures as time goes on. Harvard researchers have demonstrated this difference with startling clarity. Seniors who walk for at least 150 minutes a week at moderate intensity reduce their risk of early death by 35%. Meanwhile, those who walk for the same amount of time but at a slower pace see far fewer benefits. That gap between motion and momentum underscores an often overlooked truth. It's not just about moving more, it's about moving smarter. We'll dive into how you can make your walking routine truly effective in the next part. Ready to find out how to transform a basic habit into a life-extending strategy? Let's keep going. The popular belief that any walking is good walking has unfortunately misled millions of seniors. While the intention behind staying active is commendable, spending valuable exercise time on low-effort strolls often yields minimal protection against the very declines so many are trying to avoid. The consequences of relying solely on low-intensity walking go beyond just missed opportunities for improvement. Many seniors, lulled into a false sense of accomplishment, believe their daily walks are enough, so they skip essential activities like strength training, balance work, or moderate cardio. These overlooked exercises are actually crucial for preserving independence, mobility, and resilience as we age. This illusion of being fit enough can also delay necessary lifestyle changes. Often, it takes a wake-up call, like a fall, high blood pressure, or a cardiovascular scare, before more effective habits are considered. But by then, some damage may already be done. Even mental and emotional health are affected. Unlike brisk walking or strength-based movement, casual strolling does little to elevate heart rate enough to release mood-boosting endorphins or improve blood flow to the brain. The result? Energy levels stay low, and cognitive benefits remain out of reach. Take the story of Barbara Lewis, an 84-year-old retiree from Ohio. For years, Barbara faithfully walked 30 minutes every day around her neighborhood. She loved the routine, the fresh air, friendly chats with neighbors, and peaceful pace. But despite her consistency, she noticed little to no improvement in her overall health. Her blood pressure remained high, her balance felt unsteady, and she still struggled with afternoon fatigue. Frustrated, she visited her doctor, who suggested a simple but powerful change: interval walking. By alternating between brisk walking and slower recovery periods, Barbara began to engage her cardiovascular system more effectively. Just 6 weeks later, the transformation was undeniable. Her blood pressure dropped to a healthier range, her energy levels soared, and her balance became strong enough for her to rejoin her local hiking group, something she hadn't done in years. Her journey is a powerful reminder that it's not just about walking, it's about how you walk. In the next part, we'll dive into how you can shift from passive movement to purposeful motion that adds years and vitality to your life. Barbara's cardiologist confirmed the improvements. noting a significant boost in her stress test results, directly tied to her increased walking intensity. Her story proves how even a small shift in how you walk can dramatically improve how you feel, how you function, and even how long you live. So, what makes this kind of walking so effective? To answer that, let's dive into the science behind why walking intensity matters. Moderate intensity exercise, typically defined as reaching 65 to 75% of your maximum heart rate, activates powerful changes inside your body that go far beyond what casual movement can deliver. Cardiovascular improvements are among the most immediate. When you walk at a brisk enough pace to raise your heart rate, your heart muscle gets stronger, your blood vessels become more flexible, and overall circulation improves. This, in turn, helps lower blood pressure and significantly reduces the risk of heart disease and stroke, two of the top health threats for seniors. Then there are metabolic benefits. Walking with purpose enhances insulin sensitivity, allowing your body to regulate blood sugar more efficiently. This reduces your risk of developing type 2 diabetes, a condition that affects nearly 1 in 4 seniors. Let's not forget musculoskeletal health. As you increase your pace, you engage a wider range of muscle fibers and place light stress on your bones. These are the exact stimuli your body needs to preserve lean muscle mass and maintain bone density, key defenses against osteoporosis, frailty, and falls. There's also a powerful neurological advantage. Elevating your heart rate boosts blood flow to the brain, supporting cognitive sharpness, memory retention, and emotional well-being. Plus, that rush of feel-good endorphins can lift your mood and energy, something every senior deserves more of. To calculate your target heart rate zone, subtract your age from 220. For example, if you're 80 years old, your estimated maximum heart rate is around 140 beats per minute. To hit the sweet spot for moderate intensity walking, aim to walk at a pace that raises your heart rate to somewhere between 91 and 105 beats per minute. But how can you tell you're in that range without a heart monitor? Simple. Pay attention to your breath. You should be able to speak in short phrases, but not carry on a full conversation with ease. That slight breathlessness is your body's way of telling you, yes, we're working now. Coming up next, we'll walk through the practical steps to transform your daily stroll into a powerhouse workout for longevity and independence. Hidden Mistake 5. The Social Isolation Accelerator. Here's a hidden threat that quietly undermines the health of millions of seniors, one that rivals the damage of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It's not poor diet, lack of exercise, or bad sleep. It's social isolation, a silent epidemic sweeping through aging communities, yet often unnoticed or misunderstood. According to extensive research from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, social isolation increases mortality risk in older adults by nearly 50%. That's on par with major health threats like obesity, hypertension, and smoking. And yet, how often do doctors ask about loneliness during a checkup? How often do families notice the signs before the damage is done? Dr. Lisa Chen, a leading behavioral health researcher at the CDC, explains that chronic loneliness doesn't just affect mood. It actually rewires the body. When isolation persists, the body's stress response is constantly activated. Cortisol levels stay high. This leads to systemic inflammation, weakens immune defenses, and, perhaps most alarmingly, accelerates cellular aging by shortening the telomeres that protect our DNA. This invisible wear and tear ripples through every organ system. It raises the risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cognitive decline, and even Alzheimer's. And it doesn't always begin with dramatic events. In fact, the path to isolation is often subtle. For many seniors, it starts with something small, turning down an invitation to a family dinner, skipping a church meeting, or letting weeks pass without calling a friend. These moments feel harmless, temporary even. But over time, they create distance. And that distance feeds the very loneliness that makes it harder to reach back out. It becomes a cycle. The more isolated one feels, the more effort it takes to reconnect. Eventually, loneliness becomes the norm. And from the outside, no one may notice until physical and emotional health have already declined. So, ask yourself, when was the last time you reached out to someone just to talk? Could a short conversation today prevent a longer battle with isolation tomorrow? Up next, we'll explore how to break that cycle and rebuild connection in ways that feel natural, meaningful, and life-extending. As isolation deepens, even simple social interactions can start to feel increasingly overwhelming, almost like climbing uphill with no end in sight. But what's happening beneath the surface is even more alarming. The immune system, for example, is remarkably sensitive to emotional and social connection. Emerging research shows that seniors who experience chronic social isolation have up to 40% weaker immune responses to vaccines. That means their bodies are less able to fight off infections, more vulnerable to autoimmune disorders, and even at greater risk for certain types of cancer compared to seniors who remain socially active and engaged. But it doesn't stop there. Isolation begins to creep into every corner of a person's life. It disrupts sleep patterns, causing insomnia, lighter sleep, or waking up frequently during the night. And when sleep suffers, so does mental health. Anxiety creeps in. Depression becomes more frequent. Even the smallest setback can feel heavy. And cognitively, things start to change. Studies have shown a direct link between loneliness and faster cognitive decline, particularly in the early progression of conditions like Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. It creates a dangerous loop. The more isolated someone feels, the harder it becomes to reach out. And the harder it becomes to reach out, the more isolated they become. That feedback loop makes recovery from loneliness feel not only difficult, but nearly impossible without intentional change. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, has put numbers behind these emotional truths. According to their findings, seniors suffering from social isolation are twice as likely to visit the emergency room, endure longer hospital stays, and face dramatically higher medical costs. Not because they're less careful, but because isolation worsens their overall health outcomes, quietly and consistently. So the question becomes, what small action could break this cycle today? Sometimes, a simple hello or a shared cup of tea might be more powerful than any medication. In the next part, we'll explore practical and meaningful ways seniors and their families can rebuild connection and protect not only emotional well-being, but also long-term physical health. Recovery from illness or injury can be surprisingly slow when you're battling it alone. In fact, the toll loneliness takes on the body is so profound, it's now considered as harmful as chronic diseases like diabetes or heart failure. But here's the silver lining. It's entirely preventable. The key? Intentional, consistent, and meaningful social engagement. Take, for instance, the story of Frank Rodriguez, a 77-year-old widower from Austin, Texas. After losing his beloved wife of 50 years, Frank quietly began to retreat from his social life. He believed solitude would help him heal, that time alone would ease his grief. So he declined his usual weekly poker nights, skipped his once-favorite monthly book club, and even started turning down family dinners. Within just 6 months, his health began to unravel. Frank started catching colds more frequently, struggled to get a full night's sleep, and began experiencing forgetfulness that left his children concerned. Blood work confirmed what his body had already been telling him. His immune system was weakening, and inflammation markers were high. His doctor grew alarmed, pointing to stress and emotional isolation as significant contributors. Thankfully, Frank's daughter stepped in. She gently encouraged him to return to his social activities and signed him up for a local grief support group. Reluctantly at first, Frank began to reconnect with neighbors, friends, and people who understood his pain. The results were nearly immediate. Frank's energy rebounded. His sleep normalized. Even his memory showed noticeable improvement. What changed wasn't medication or diet. It was human connection. His story is living proof that emotional engagement isn't just a luxury in later life, it's a lifeline. To avoid falling into this hidden trap, seniors must make social interaction a daily priority. And it doesn't have to be grand gestures. A simple phone call to an old friend, meeting a neighbor for a walk, joining a community class, or showing up for a local event. These small acts build a buffer against physical and mental decline. Even regular activities like volunteering, attending church services, or joining a hobby group can serve as powerful tools to keep the mind sharp, the spirit lifted, and the body strong. Because at the end of the day, our health isn't just shaped by what we eat or how we move, but by the quality of the connections we keep. In the next segment, we'll explore the sixth and final hidden mistake that silently drains years from seniors' lives. Don't miss it. Joining gardening clubs, knitting circles, or participating in low-impact exercise classes does more than just fill time. It gives structure, purpose, and, most importantly, fosters human connection on a regular basis. These kinds of activities provide a rhythm to daily life that keeps the mind engaged and the spirit lifted. But what if mobility issues or lack of transportation make it difficult to participate in person? Fortunately, technology offers powerful, accessible alternatives. Virtual book clubs, weekly video calls with family members, and online forums built around shared hobbies can all deliver the kind of meaningful social stimulation that's vital for emotional and physical health. Even neighborhood-based connections, like stopping to chat with a neighbor or joining a casual local walking group, can offer consistent, low-effort opportunities to stay connected. The key is to be intentional. Make social engagement a daily habit, not something you leave to chance. Reach out to someone you've lost touch with, a former coworker, an old friend, or even that friendly neighbor you always wave to but never really speak with. Suggest a specific, recurring plan like a Friday morning coffee or a weekly phone call. These regular interactions go far beyond small talk. They act as protective armor against isolation, depression, and cognitive decline. Sporadic connection, while better than none, doesn't offer the same long-term benefits. What your health needs is consistency, just like with exercise or a balanced diet. Research continues to show that building and maintaining a supportive social network can significantly improve mental clarity, lower stress, and even add years to your life, often more effectively than many medications. So why not start today? Commit to scheduling just one meaningful interaction. It could be a visit, a call, or even a short walk with someone you care about. Make it part of your daily wellness routine. You might be surprised at how quickly it boosts your mood, strengthens your immune system, and restores a sense of purpose. If you're still watching this video and finding these lessons valuable, please comment the number 3 below so I know you're still here with me. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Next, we'll uncover hidden mistake number 6. A surprisingly common supplement habit that could be silently putting your health at risk. Let's now dive into hidden mistake number 6, one that often goes unnoticed but can quietly sabotage your health efforts. Many seniors rely on supplements to boost their nutrition, support bone health, or fill in dietary gaps. But here's the critical issue. A vast number of them are taking these supplements at the wrong time, in the wrong way, or alongside food or medications that interfere with absorption. According to research from Johns Hopkins University, an astonishing 85% of seniors take supplements incorrectly. The consequences? Diminished effectiveness, wasted money, and in more serious cases, actual harm. Improper timing or combinations can stress the liver and kidneys, worsen nutrient deficiencies, and create dangerous interactions with prescription medications. Yet most older adults are never clearly informed about how or when to take these supplements for optimal benefit. Dr. Michael Thompson, a pharmacologist at Johns Hopkins, emphasizes that the human digestive system is not a one-size-fits-all process. It processes nutrients selectively and can be disrupted by competing compounds. For example, Did you know that taking calcium and iron together can slash iron absorption by up to 60%? This could worsen conditions like anemia, without the person even realizing what's causing the issue. Then there's the case of fat-soluble vitamins, such as vitamin D. These require dietary fat to be properly absorbed. If you take them on an empty stomach or without healthy fats like nuts, avocado, or olive oil, your body may pass them through without using them, leaving you deficient despite regular supplementation. High-fiber foods, while beneficial for digestion, pose another unexpected problem. They can bind to essential minerals like calcium and magnesium, limiting their absorption. That means your daily fiber smoothie might actually be working against your bone support supplements, if taken too closely together. The ripple effect of incorrect supplement timing is significant. Studies from Johns Hopkins show that seniors who take their supplements randomly, without attention to timing or food pairings, absorb 40% to 70% fewer nutrients. That's a huge gap with serious implications, especially when you're trying to strengthen your bones, improve energy, or support immune health. What's more concerning is that some supplements, when combined with certain medications, can cause harmful interactions. And without proper guidance, many seniors remain unaware of the risks lurking in their daily routines. Next, we'll explore how to fix this mistake with simple, science-backed strategies that ensure you're getting the full benefit of your supplements, without the hidden dangers. Take, for instance, the case of supplement interactions that most seniors never see coming. St. John's wort, for example, can drastically reduce the effectiveness of blood thinners. Meanwhile, high doses of vitamin K may interfere with anticoagulant medications, throwing off delicate balances in the bloodstream. When supplements are taken randomly, without guidance or awareness, they can also destabilize blood sugar, trigger digestive issues, or even cause toxic buildups of certain nutrients. These effects can be especially harmful for seniors whose liver or kidney function may already be compromised due to age. A powerful example of this hidden danger is Joyce Kim, an 81-year-old retiree from Portland, Oregon. For years, Joyce had been committed to her supplement routine, taking calcium, iron, and fiber every morning with her oatmeal. She believed she was doing everything right. But what she didn't know was that the fiber in her breakfast was binding to the calcium, rendering it nearly useless, while the calcium itself was blocking her iron absorption. The result? Despite her diligence, her bone scans showed no improvement, and she constantly felt drained due to iron deficiency. Eventually, she sought help from her pharmacist. Together, they created a smarter, more structured supplement plan. Now, Joyce takes her calcium at dinner when stomach acid is higher, improving absorption. She takes her iron in the morning on an empty stomach, paired with a glass of orange juice to boost uptake, thanks to the vitamin C. Her fiber supplements are spaced out between meals, so they don't interfere with mineral absorption. The result? Within just a few months, her bone density began to improve for the first time in years, and her energy returned. She was finally getting the benefits she had long hoped for simply by adjusting the timing and combinations of her supplements. To avoid this commonly overlooked mistake, seniors must be intentional about when and how they take their supplements. For calcium, consider taking it with dinner or before bedtime when stomach acid production is naturally stronger. Avoid taking it within 2 hours of iron, high-fiber foods, or antacids. Iron supplements work best on an empty stomach, ideally with a source of vitamin C, like orange juice, to boost absorption. Coming up next, we'll explore more science-backed guidelines to help you safely optimize your supplement routine and fully unlock their benefits. For example, foods like citrus juice can significantly boost iron absorption, but they should never be consumed too close to calcium, coffee, or dairy products. To prevent nutrient conflicts, keep at least a 2-hour gap between them. Similarly, fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K need dietary fats to be properly absorbed. That means they should be taken with meals that include healthy fats, like grilled salmon, a handful of almonds, or a drizzle of olive oil. To make all of this easier to manage, consider building a consistent daily supplement schedule. Use a pill organizer or even a simple calendar to map out timing across your meals, ensuring you're spacing out your supplements in a way that maximizes absorption and avoids unintended interactions. It might seem like a small step, but this kind of organization can significantly increase the effectiveness of your supplements and help you avoid costly mistakes. And above all, always speak with a pharmacist or healthcare provider. Drug supplement interactions can vary widely depending on your medications and health status, so professional guidance is crucial. Before your next meal, take a moment to review your supplement routine. Are you timing things right? Could a simple adjustment unlock greater benefits? These small but intentional shifts can turn your supplements from a daily ritual with little payoff into a powerful support system for aging gracefully. It's not about taking more, it's about taking smarter. And that brings us to the end of today's video. We've just uncovered 6 hidden mistakes that may be silently cutting years from your life. And more importantly, how to fix them with simple, actionable steps starting today. So, what insight surprised you most? Was it the overlooked danger of casual walking? The precise timing needed for protein intake? Or perhaps the impact of your sleeping position on your brain? Drop a comment below and let me know what you're excited to apply in your daily routine. Your reflection might just inspire someone else to take control of their health too. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Healthy Aging Blueprint for more practical strategies to protect your golden years. Wishing you great health, lasting happiness, and peaceful well-being. And remember, stay connected with us right here on Healthy Aging Blueprint.